Today we're installing a new bracket and drawer system so that we can fit a much larger refrigerator into the space here in our Escapod. Again, this is very special to specifically what we need for our trip. What came with the Escapod was the Yeti cooler, which was great, and they offered an option for a 63-quart fridge. We're going to be putting in, as you'll see, a 75-liter dual-zone fridge from IceCo. But in order to make this fit, we've had to push the tolerance on the space that's available all the way to its limit. And so I had to work with a fabricator locally where I live to get some parts made. And they are finally now ready to install. This has been a couple-month process, honestly, to get this ready and be able to make this work. So today we're going to film the install, and you'll see what we end up with. So this is the original bracket that holds the fridge drawer slide. And you can see here what we've done is extended the width of it and the height. Had to raise the drawer slide on this side to clear the corner of the trailer here. So we're just going to be putting in the new slide here. And everything lines up perfectly with the original mount location. So there's just 5 screws that hold this into the structure, and we'll tighten those down. So the next step is to get the drawer slider reinstalled. In order to access the screw holes, the slide has to be pulled out, but you actually have to be careful not to pull out the middle part of the slide all the way to get to the middle hole. With this, there's 3 screws and washers and nuts that go on the back side. Of course, with the extra clearance we've used up, it's much harder to get the nuts and washers on the back now. All right, thank you. And we'll tighten this one up, and then we'll have to extend the slide the rest of the way to access the 3rd hole. There it is. Should be holes up higher. There you go. And take a couple screws. So this new slide is the same style, but the dimensions have increased both in width and depth, and it does fit within the camper's dimensions okay. But the challenge that we experienced, this drawer really cannot be made bigger than it is, than we've made it. And to fit the fridge, we actually have to invert these. And originally the nuts would be on the inside and the screw heads on the outside. And that gives us enough clearance for the fridge, but unfortunately, it does rub slightly when the drawer slide is opened and closed on these nuts. They weren't really designed to be inside the slide mechanism like this. So that's a little bit of a compromise with this. We'll talk about some other compromises here too. Because honestly, I don't think this modification is for everyone. That's for our very specific use. And it's going to serve us well, but I think the original design is probably better for most people. That needs to go in there. We'll get it zip tied in a minute. Let's see. So the plug for the fridge is where Escapod installed it, which is on the other side of the water tank there. And then I've run the cord down and across following the tank strap. You can see we've had to install the DC power cord on the stove side of the fridge in order to clear the drawer slide. Since we had to raise the drawer slide on the other side, it no longer fits over there. In addition, I had to remove the screws on these bottom brackets on the corners of the fridge. So they're only held on by the screw on the bottom now. And the final difficulty I ran into was I had to replace this screw right here with a smaller one in order to clear the lip under the countertop here as it opens and closes. This is just to give you an idea of the clearance here as the fridge goes in and out. So this is our IceCo VL75 Pro dual zone fridge. We're very excited to be able to use this to help us carry hopefully up to a week's worth of groceries on our expedition. So dual zone fridge, freezer, 2 fridges. Use one side by itself if we need to save power, but at the moment you can see it's running on our stock battery system from Escapod. So that's it for today. We have our fridge installed and we're very excited about it. I have maybe one more modification that I'm still working out exactly how it's going to work for us, but a couple weeks and we're going to be on the road, so hopefully we'll see you out there.